So I love sharing stories. So I think this story that I'm about to share is really important. It's all about the now moment. And I talk a lot about this with my clients when we talk about recognizing, rewriting, and realigning. But for me, this hit home hard. And the reason why I'm going to share this is because sometimes we get so caught up in our life. We get so busy with our job or our business or things that really don't matter in the bigger picture of things that we tend to forget that now moment. So all we have is the present moment, the now moment. Everything that you do, that you think, that you eat, that you breathe is in the now moment. The past is the past, the future is the future. You can't undo it and you can't live it in the moment in the sense of you can't have the future right now. You're in the now moment. Ultimately, the now moment means that the past is the past and the future has not yet really begun because everything is in the now moment. So a couple of years ago, I went through something that was very traumatic, very intense. One of my children got very, very sick to the point where I almost lost them. During that time frame, it became very apparent to me that it didn't matter all the things that were going on in my life. They meant zero to me because I was trying to hold on tight to one child who felt, she may or may not lose her sibling, and then trying to keep the other child together who was losing their grip on what they believed was their life. So I realized in that little moment, standing one day in the hospital room, it was freezing cold. I was looking out over the cityscape, and I remember so vividly. It was trying to hold all those emotions in and not show them to my other child. Why? Because at that time, I was so broken. I felt so useless as a mother because the one thing you want to do is, as someone who is a mother or even a parent, you want to protect that child. And I couldn't protect them. Why? Because it was out of my control. But the one thing that I could do, which was really, really powerful, the one thing that I could do that was massive was I could be present with every single moment that I had with both of my children, with my day-to-day activities, with myself, with my business. I could be present all the time, making sure that I didn't wonder what could happen in the future, what I could have done better in the past. And that became my mantra, was to be present and in the now moment for both of my children and for anybody that was in my life. Because we sit as humans and we think so much of, oh, I could have done a better job. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, or what if I had this, or what if I have that? None of it matters. It really doesn't. Being present in the moment, being grateful in the moment for the precious moments that you have, for the experiences that you're having in that moment is the most amazing thing that you can treasure, you can hold tight to. We get caught up in all the other crap in life. And that moment, that story that I share with clients, that story that I have written about in magazines, that story that happened between my children and I will never forget it. I will never forget standing there in that window and knowing that I had no control over what was going on. I could only be there, be present, and tell my children that I loved them. Tell the other person that I cared for them. Tell the spouse, whoever, that you love them, you care for them, and be present for them. Those are the things that are most important. If you're in a position where things are not feeling good, then be present in the little things that do feel good, and things will shift. So if I can leave you with something today in this video, it is to take a look at where you're not being present in the now moment and make a genuine effort to be present. That taught me so much because I gave up everything. I dropped everything because all I could think of was just get up in the morning, be there at the hospital, make sure the nurses were arriving on time when that my child was home. It was to be present and to really, really treasure every single moment that I had because I just didn't know. I didn't know. It's funny because when people are given a disease where they're said, well, this is terminal and you're going, you've got this amount of time, they suddenly want to be present with everything and they want to do everything. But this is a shout out to all these people that are listening now. This is a huge shout out to you. That be present now, be in the moment now, because that's all you have. And when you make that decisive change in your life, everything else will change. So in summary, what I can say from what I learned a couple of years ago was forget all the other stuff, forget the crap, forget the past. Don't worry about what's going to happen in the future. If you're present with whoever it is, whatever the situation is, in the now moment, then that's massive because you're experiencing and you're enjoying it and you're living a life. You're not worrying about what you could have done better or what you should be doing. So I hope you live in the now moment.